What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon. As y'all see, you know, I just got one thing to say. See, that's why you should never talk mess about people or give people a hard time when they late and stuff. Because one day you might be the one that's, you know, running a little bit behind. Ain't this something else? Glasses ain't even here yet. He about to be on in a minute, though.
Are you having an out-of-body experience? What are you doing here at 3 o'clock?
Man, I'm here early. Actually, there you go. He just showed up. His thing ain't in there, though. There you go. Man, you just made it. You go fix it, bro? There we go. There he is. Man, you know I had to give it to you, right?
My red hat on.
You had to do what?
You know I had to give it to you, right?
Well, see, that's the sheer smirk in your face and the disingenuous look in your face that you felt like this makes us even when you don't show up or call us and check in, and you think this is the same.
This just made my day, man. I even saw Trap come in. I don't want to hear no excuses.
That's crazy that you have never.
Hey, what my boy say? Hey, whoever seen that movie, one of my favorite movies, Remember the Titans. What my boy Julian say? Attitude reflects leadership.
I agree.
Attitude reflects leadership.
I don't know how you have an attitude when we be telling you late.
Attitude reflects
or you don't actually you actually don't remember you're supposed to be here on time.
Look at that. Oh, G Malone, I'm gonna have to write this in my calendar today. The G Malone was late. The G Malone was late there.
Man, this is a holiday.
2 minutes.
This is a holiday though. You feel me? It's a holiday. The streets is back.
I got my
the streets is
on.
back.
We here, baby.
It's a criminal in the White House. The streets is back. See, I've been listening to everybody talk all that high power cap about how the streets is done. Oh, the streets is done. The streets is done. Oh, snitching is in. All the above.
Streets is a myth. Streets is a myth.
The streets ain't no myth.
Ain't at all.
The streets ain't no myth. The streets is back. Big T is in the White House. Agent Orange is in the White House again.
Queens, we did it, baby.
Shout out to Queens. Queens,
Queens, we did it, baby.
White House.
I had to put my red hat on.
Let's go. Has LA ever got somebody in the White House?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Who?
Tricky Dicky.
Oh. Richard Nixon.
And semi Reagan. Reagan was an LA guy because he was an actor.
I was going to say Reagan too.
He was one too.
I don't know if Reagan. I would consider Reagan an LA dude.
Why not? He's from LA. He retired in LA. He was there before. He just went to Sacramento to be the governor.
Wait a minute. So he's born and raised in LA?
He was in Hollywood as a youngster.
He's from Illinois.
Yeah.
Born there or
It said born there.
Because he was really young when he was in because he was the Gipper in 1940, in that movie. He'd been in the industry since he was in his early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Queens, we did it.
Queens, Jamaica Queens at that. I didn't even know Trump was Jamaica Queen.
I had to call my mom.
We did it.
And make sure she was all right.
Fact.
Yeah, me too. I had to go to my mother's house last night, man. Word. Like at 12 at night. She comes and say, I ain't feeling too well right now. I said, I'm on my way, man.
He from Queens. You know the rapper from Onyx, Sticky Fingers? He actually took that name from Trump the way Rick Ross did from Rick Ross.
Did he?
No, I just made that up.
I get it. I see what you did there.
Hey, Queens in the house though. That's a great. You know, the Yankees losing. You know what I mean? It's dope to watch New York. It's dope to watch New York bounce back. You feel me? That's how
Big Apple's revenge.
That shit jumped back like this.
Trump lost New York.
I don't think that's surprising.
Yeah, it wasn't surprising, but in true New York fashion, in true New York fashion, he went through the storm and came out on top. What's crazy?
We always hate on each other. We hate on each other all the time, though. That's what it is, though.
This story is just like 50 Cent.
Yeah.
The prodigal son, Trump has returned back to the White House. The streets is back.
The only difference between 50 Cent and Donald Trump about 3 inches.
Oh, pause.
Ay, caramba. That
didn't land.
That didn't work real well.
No Silence Live, the lunch hour. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time. Click the link in the bio. Subscribe to No Ceilings Podcast. Executive produced by Charlemagne the God. I got to check on him because I think he committed suicide today.
There's no way he didn't see that coming, man. I made $1,000 last night, for Christ's sake. I mean, shit.
Shout out to Kev Mack, my boy Kev. Shout out to everybody in the chat. My brother Trash, Kevin Mack. Kev Mack, what's up, baby? One of my favorite channels on YouTube, top 3. Cuz why y'all let Gascon get fired? You knew that was going to happen, Kev. Squish, what's happening? Mr. Brock, what's happening? Wally Transportation. Everybody, Steve T, what's happening? You feel me? What's the deal? Fats, what's up?
Yeah, and as soon as Kamala, she's the Medusa of politics. Anybody she even looks at turns to stone. So man, when she endorsed Gascon, it was toast.
I'm gonna tell you what happened too, man. I'm so tired of these people bringing rappers to their damn little gatherings, man. Like that's just gonna make us. You might as well bring some pots of collard greens and neck bones and everything else and a tin of cornbread. That's not gonna make us get out there and vote. The fact that you got Cardi B, Kamala act like she was going on an album run, like these the features. I'm gonna have the whole homies on there.
I kind of don't agree with that though, man.
That's what Josh said too. The homie Josh. Shout out to my brother Josh from Detroit, Intellectual Petty Radio. Josh said the same thing. He was like, "Glad she not gonna win this election. She done brought Megan Thee Stallion out there shaking her butt. That ain't gonna get it done."
She brought a white rapper out to get the black male vote in Detroit.
I don't agree with that. Within that, y'all just saying like that she chose the wrong rappers, or that we shouldn't include hip hop into politics.
Man, it was kind of just like disingenuous and patronizing, bro. It's like you might like what would you have done if she brought
it's like Hillary Clinton going to doing the AME tour and acting like she's a preacher.
Hillary Clinton said that she carries around hot sauce in her purse. B.
I remember that.
That was my favorite Hillary Clinton quote.
All that stuff, Twine, to me, man, is just whack. And it's almost like you might as well bring a pot of chitlins next time.
I mean, look, I think the brothers did a great job of voting for Kamala. I think the sisters did a great job. The problem is white people didn't believe.
A great job? I would say they did a shitty job.
No, white people did a fantastic job of not voting for Kamala. That's what happened.
Crazy.
They did not see it in her. People, I've been noticing people thinking it's about women. You know what I'm saying? It's a woman. And it's like, no, like, even like I didn't vote. Obviously, we've had this conversation on this live stream, No Ceilings Live Lunch Hour. I'm not voting till a president runs on reparation. That's the person who gets that message to me, and that becomes a part of their, campaign. That's what I vote for. So, but watching this election from the outside, you know what I'm saying, has been crazy because I'm watching her. And like everything she's doing is like politic 101. Like if she read Politics for Dummies. So like when, I know the political thing to do is to ask a question, right? And then repeat the question and then say something in response to the question. Hers was so simple to see.
Robotic.
Yeah, so simple to see. And it was like, you got to disguise that. You know what I mean? But again, if you look at even, shout out to the Democrats and just the whole ticket, they probably moved too soon. Like when they pulled Biden out of the race, you know what I mean? And then they put her in, she never really built anything. She didn't earn the spot.
She never had anything to build. You don't go from being in the low 30s of approval as a vice president for 3 years in a row, immovable, to suddenly now high 40s, low 50s as a presidential candidate in a light switch. That's irreparable. She has no talent. She has no ability. She has no agenda. She has no anything. You can't fabricate that and change the minds of what would that have required? A sixth of the population?
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
And I guess, but you could still kind of, you know what I mean? You still kind of could train her into exercising whatever her talent is. I feel like she was way too early into that cycle to be running for that actual position. That's a big thing. People really gotta, like, Trump has been building a bridge with an audience for 40 years, 50 years. I mean, for a long time.
Kamala
and it's like,
Ray.
Huh?
I said Kamala ran in 2020, and she was so
She dropped out.
unpopular among Democrats. She didn't even make it to the first fucking vote. She didn't get a single delegate.
See, and that's a great point. And shout out to the homie Ty. He makes a point. Why black men didn't vote for Cornel West. I didn't know Cornel West was running.
I did vote for Cornel West. That's what I voted for.
Yeah, I didn't even know Cornel West was running.
Did you write him in? Was he a write-in? Because I didn't see him on the ballot.
It depended on the state.
It was independent. The state. I think California might not have had him on the bill.
Some states did, and some states didn't.
I didn't see him.
Blue states kind of pulled him off.
Running in 2020, I would have never knew. Like, and this is my point. Where,
hey, Glasses, real quick. You remember that guy we had on, Maj Tour from Philadelphia?
Yes.
The gun dude?
Yeah.
He did this, like, when I was in Vegas, he did like a whole like live interview, like in front of like 1,000 people with Cornel West. It was pretty cool. I'm trying to see if I can find it on the internet. I know that they posted it. It's actually worth watching. It was pretty cool.
Cornel West is dope, man.
But I'm saying I didn't even know he was running. So again, you still got to do a job. Like, I'm not over investigating who's running. Like, I don't believe in the system enough. I mean, I don't
think nobody investigates really outside of the top people that they show on TV.
I mean, I do think some people do. I just don't. So I can't say what other people don't do. But I think either one or two things had to happen. Either Biden had to concede that he was going to run and they start building her a lot sooner, or they should have made him run anyway. But
they couldn't make him run, no, man. That man was on his deathbed.
Couldn't make him run. He wanted to run.
No, he can't run. He can't run, period.
He would have done better than
a bike speed. Man, that man couldn't even remember what he was saying. But after he said
he would have did better than her.
Neither could she.
Nah, that's true.
I guess so. I don't know, man.
Neither than her, bro.
And
I honestly think that the two of them are a push. They're both the same. It's just, do you like the system and the people that you don't see and don't know that run the things behind her or him? Or do you like a different paradigm? That was pretty much the whole thing. I mean, anybody who thought that either of those two were running anything, it doesn't live in reality because they weren't.
That's how I saw it. The way I saw it is when Trump ran, it was, again, it's in 2016 to 2020. People remember having something. They remember having money. They remember the pandemic, but they remember having money. People remember being able to pay their bills. No matter how craziness it happened, people remember that. And then there was this loud group of people, shepherds, telling people, hey, don't vote for this person because the way they behave is not acceptable. How they talk is not acceptable. And that shepherd voice, the shepherd's voice was so loud, people believed it. They was like, oh, you know what? This isn't presidential behavior. So whoever the Democrats ran against the Republicans at that time, which was Biden, they just voted. He didn't have to win the election. They were saying, here, we just want somebody without this attitude.
I'm going to tell you something, man.
Let me finish. Hold on, let me finish. He said before, like, I'm going to give you, like, here, just pick someone else. Here, like, you could have this person. So they chose against Trump. And then people started to look during this 4 years, and they was like, how is my life going? That's the problem. And politics, no matter, all of the BS that it is, it's about making people feel better. Good politicians make people feel better. Not necessarily make people's lives better, but make them feel better about life. So what happened is they compared the time when they were alive to Trump, the emotional way they felt about things and how things went and why they were mad versus how they felt when Biden was in office, and realized this lady was an extension of that and she didn't plan to change it. And they chose with maybe a time that they thought was better in their lives for themselves.
So, go ahead, still.
Oh, and this just real quick, man. I got to throw this out there. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and no way am I trying to apply anything, but I just find it mighty odd, man, that she just got swept the way she did. It's like she was 2-3 points behind what Biden did previously in most states. Places that are like Democrat, usually where it's some kind of struggle at least. So do you think Trump's claims that they may have been trying to rig stuff just a little bit may have been kind of...
I told you when you told me that yesterday. We was talking about it on the phone. I'm like, man, maybe this orange man ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they did cheat in 2020. Like that.
People mad like that, see?
Huh?
Usually when people mad like that, bro, like, you know how an innocent person may be found guilty sometimes or something, and he's kind of fighting.
Yeah.
He was really pissed off, man.
I've gone through a lot of that shit. Like a borderline unhealthy amount of that shit. If you don't think that happened in 2020,
Because he was mad. He was big mad. Like, it wasn't no thing like he was just talking mess. He was mad.
It all came out in the court discovery. The media just didn't cover it. There's no shortage of court discovery.
In 2016 looks like the election for 2024. That's it. Like, it looks strange. Yes, JJ Mack. Shout out to the homie JJ Mack in the chat.
That's what I wanted to say.
So people didn't vote because of rep. I'm not voting for not one candidate. Okay, listen. I'm gonna explain this. I've said this a couple times on this live stream, Jay, and you might have didn't hear me. So I'm gonna explain this again. This country, the American dream, is built on the idea that everybody is equal, right? That everybody's equal, and the ultimate goal is harmony, right? There is no way you can get me to believe in a system, right? You're right, JJ. You are new. Forgive me, and I'm saying this to you now. There's no way you can get me to participate in a system where the greatest thing that has this country out of sync, one of its oldest people, Black people in this country, right? There is no true desire and plan to repair the relationship with America and these people. There's no way possible you can get me to see past that to participate at any other level. So I cannot vote for a president, or really, for the most part, feel in good conscience participate in a system that doesn't want to right its greatest wrong. That's my problem. That's why I didn't vote. I'm not voting in a place where you don't want to right your greatest wrong. Like, it's like being married to a woman who is sucking your brother's penis, but she's cooking you dinner and cleaning up your house. And you're like, well, at least she's cooking dinner and cleaning up my house. No, you got to stop sucking his penis, and you got to apologize. We got to figure this out, what this is about. And that's, to me, the relationship.
No. If she's sucking his penis, I'm cutting her the fuck off, B. What the fuck? I don't give a fuck about no fucking food, B. Fuck this motherfucker. I'm moving the fuck out. I'm leaving the country if it's that fucking bad like that, B. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of crazy. That was an ill hop. That was ill,
bro. Because but again, you have to repair the relationship. So the concept of a president who doesn't like brown and Black people, there are no presidents who prefer and further brown and Black people. There's not one. There's not one, JJ. There's never been a president in office, even the ones that were brown and Black, that actually put people that were brown and Black ahead of anybody else. It doesn't make sense for politics. So therefore, politics don't make sense to me. Like, it's like, okay, but I'm not trying to start a movement. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to start a movement. I'm not trying to get y'all to stand with me. That's your choice to make yourself. If you feel that the system is going the way you want and you want to participate, you should. But where I'm at, it's different.
I feel like all this shit is all. Yo, you said something before. The 2016 looked very familiar to 2024.
Yeah.
They put this man up against two women. B, when the last time somebody ran 2 times against 2 women and fucking, like, what the fuck? Yeah, they played with us, B. They literally played with us, though, B. Like, come on, bro.
Name brand.
That shit was wicked.
President be a representation of a good human being first. You know what, name brand? No, I don't think so. I think the idea of a president should be a great representation of the time there. I think a great president is somebody who represents where America is at that time. So to me, it always made sense that America would have a president that's on Twitter talking crazy, because all of y'all be in the comments talking crazy. This is y'all president. Y'all act the same as Trump. Y'all act the same as Trump. People act just like Trump. That's why I don't understand how y'all who actually participate in the political system judge him. Y'all act exactly like him. Y'all on Twitter talking crazy to people. You could disrespect people. Y'all do all this stuff. You don't conduct yourself in a savory way, and neither does your president. So I get the concept of wanting to have a president that you feel like can aspire you or inspire you to be a better version of yourself, or you can get the mirror. And America right now, in my mind, is getting the mirror. You looking at himself. When you see Trump, he got this important job and he on Twitter, on that Android tweeting. Yeah, you getting what you getting the energy you putting out. This is y'all energy. That's y'all energy. You know what I mean?
It's a reflection of society right there, you're saying?
Yeah, and then his point is that's so deep. So we don't like ourselves. You don't. This is the era of the BBLs. You don't even like how you look. This is the era of makeup on men. This is the era of purses on men. This is the era of human beings envying other human beings, genders envying genders. Everything about this country is out of whack. So it makes sense that your president is a representation.
But all those descriptions you just mentioned voted for Harris.
But that, again, that's because there's a version of that doesn't allow itself to showcase in humans, because it's way more of that than what we see. I mean, if you let people just be the craziness that they want, they'll go all the way out. The only reason people ain't as crazy as they want, I feel like I'm one of the few people that I know that's gonna be himself no matter what nobody else think. That's not a lot of people. Most people gonna compromise and get down with the get down. They call it peer pressure.
I don't think that's exactly true for everybody.
I think it's true for 95% of the people in America. I think people in America build everything that they want and like based off what somebody else has. They don't actually.
You know what? I might have to agree with you, right?
Most people are pragmatic.
I'm gonna tell the story again. I remember being in a Bentley, and it was a girl that I was talking to. It was a cute girl. She fine, grew up in the suburbs and all that. She would always tell me how my car was her dream car, and she just kept telling me that. And I didn't understand why she was telling me. You feel me? Why this Bentley is her dream car? And one day she was saying it to me. You know, I get still like I'm gonna get fed up. You keep saying some shit to me. You know me like a book. Pete, you know too. Strap, you seen it. So I was like, yeah, it's your dream car. She's like, yeah. I said, who makes the car? She didn't know. I said, what size is the engine in the car? How many liters? She didn't know. How many cylinders?
Don't know nothing about
who makes any. She didn't know nothing about the car. I'm like, so you dreaming about something and you never went to go figure out any details about this car? Like you don't know no details. No, you don't dream of this car. You dream of people seeing you in this car. That's why you in here now. She looked at me and her feelings was hurt. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like, stop telling me that. You feel me? Because you don't like. It's easy to dream. It's easy to dream. Yeah, it's easy to dream, bro. It's easy to dream. The work to figure out what it would take to get. How you dream about something that they make 100,000 of? People dreaming about flying to England. The tickets are $400.
Go.
Like, what do you stop dreaming? You know what I'm saying? So, I think America has the president that represents itself. That this is America. He acts just like Americans right now. I be looking at him and he was talking last night. He's the greatest president. That's y'all. Y'all keep making a big deal out your own lives. People be on Twitter talking to me about my life. Well, Glasses, you know, you're talking shit about this person and you don't have this. You don't have what I have. Like you so worried about my stuff or what I'm doing that you don't even got nothing. Oh, you see how many likes? You only got 300 likes. You don't have 30 followers. Like this is the world we live in. To me, when I look at people tweeting me and talking to me, they act just like Trump still. Everybody. That's why I don't know how they don't like him. You're looking at a mirror.
Yeah, everything is about them.
That's it.
Do you think you act like Trump?
I'm way worse than Trump. I act a lot closer to Idi Amin. I act closer to what's the
boy? Dictator. You're a dictator, huh? I told you that before.
Yeah, I'm more like Kim Jong-un. I'm nothing like him. Trump is way more diplomatic than me. I am not diplomatic in the sense. I have zero belief that you're gonna do what's good for you. That's how I am as a person. I think you're gonna always take the easy route.
Yeah.
I just think that's humans. Like I'm more Gaddafi, bro. I'm like Kim Jong-un. Like I believe.
You got to understand something, man. I was riding down the street with Glasses one day and me and him was talking about something. And so I says, man, you can't control people's thoughts. Like, who do you think you are? Like to just tell somebody what they should be doing based on how you feel. He said, still, people need to be controlled. They need to be sheep. I said, bro, you a despot. He's more than a dictator. He's a despot, dude. You know what I mean? He's up there with the greatest of them, Styling and all them dudes.
Because if you let people make choices, they gonna take the chicken shit route every time.
Easy right. Yo,
They
so
never
now
gonna make true sacrifices for nothing. People think take care of their kids is different than taking care of yourself. Like people brag about taking care of their kids. That's taking care of yourself. You only taking care of them because you got to. Because the real challenge is when you come to take care of other shit that don't got nothing to do with you. When you feel responsible for other humans that don't fall under your realm. Every asshole take care of their kids.
You know what, G?
Not everyone. We ain't gonna do that.
I think it's a special person, bro, that takes care of other people.
I believe in that.
That takes care of other people. I think that's a special person, man. And I think the reason and the thing that makes that real hard is usually when you one of those type of people, you get dumped on a whole lot, man. You get shit on you.
Man, I'm
people start looking at entitlement.
People think that like I'm hard on Drake or I'm hard on some rapper, and they feel like because they have money or they achieve something in a career that I haven't, that makes them. No, he still needs my guidance. Drake needs my guidance. Drake needs my guidance. K-Dot needed my. There's people around, just like I need guidance from certain people. They may not. Pluck haven't made as much money as me, but I still need his guidance. So human beings are supposed to help human beings. So when you do some sucker shit, you need somebody to tell you, hey, that's some sucker shit. Don't do that no more.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a belief in regular human beings in general population, bro, that whoever has more money is the actual person that knows the most or that they're the most respected. No, you just a prostitute. If everything that you see about somebody respectable, like we was talking about in the clubhouse. Shout out to ADHD. My boy Trap got this ADHD follow clubhouse. Download to get involved. It's great. But he was saying, he was like, Flash, you sound crazy. You want to hang around broke people. I'm like, what is somebody's economic, what is somebody's economic foe got to do with do I want to hang with them? Like this is the confusion. This is the confusion. The confusion is that right there. People straight up just, they making money everything. This is why Trump is in office. Because y'all made money everything. You make money everything. And that's why you got a president who thinks money is everything. You getting what you asked for. What Joker say before he shot the talk show man on Joker? You get what you fucking deserve. When he shot, what was Robert De Niro's character? He brought him up there to make a fool out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all keep doing this. Guess what? You got your president you asked for. Y'all got y'all prayer. Everybody in the chat, shout out to James McCoy, Jay Sizzle, Star Child, Great Hugh, Dang 23, Name Brand, Kelvin. You got y'all president. You're welcome.
You think after him getting in office, he put the thought in everybody's mind, like everybody could be president no matter what, though? You know what I'm saying? Because I always felt like Trump don't come from no political background and none of that shit. He just said, I'm rich right now. I'm running for office. I'm going to win this shit. You know what I'm saying? Did it 2 times. Not 1 time, did it 2 times. Just because he got money. You know what I'm saying? That shit is...
That was not just because he got money.
Yeah, it can't just be...
No, I feel like it's because it was the higher-ups selecting him as the one they want to...
No, it was the opposite.
That's the opposite.
It was the complete opposite.
Yeah, white money don't like Trump.
The system, the apparatus...
The
every power structure in place fought tooth and nail against this guy from the beginning and throughout the entire last 9 years.
Yeah, I agree with
thoroughly.
Trump is not the rich white man's choice. He's the poor white man's choice.
Kamala Harris is the rich white man's choice. She's the donor class candidate. That's why as soon as they announced her, she magically raised $2.5 billion in a weekend because they're dependent upon their ability to manipulate government leadership, and he's resistant to being manipulated as government leadership.
So who's Elon Musk?
Elon Musk is one guy, and Elon Musk is essentially he's rogue. Yeah. Look at Elon Musk took a $20+ billion hit to buy a social media platform for a principle.
He's not white money's choice, and I think that's the confusion. I will say black people have that part confused. He's not white money's choice. He's just not. He's the poor white man's choice. He's the middle class white man's choice.
But they can't relate to him though. This nigga, he's a rich motherfucker.
But they obviously
Queens, man, that was rich all his life. Like,
yeah, but they obviously can.
the ignorance. Okay.
No, they relate to the fact that he exists. Like his business apparatus is top to bottom throughout. Like if you were to compare him to like a Zuckerberg and look at like where Zuckerberg's money exists within the like spectrum of incomes in the country, it's all at the top, like super at the top. Whereas for Trump to build a building, he's dealing more so with union construction workers by and large than like strategic, you know,
architects,
tech relationships in Silicon Valley and venture capitalists. Like that's a very tight knit circle.
1%.
Yeah,
I got you.
Shout out to name brand. Trump has been a part of our culture. Trump was a black celebrity for a long time.
That's real talk. Mentioning all hip hop songs of the 80s and 90s.
Shout out to Eric Jackson. Poor people relate to Trump. We can't. I don't think
it's not that poor people relate to Trump. It's that Trump relates to poor people.
Yeah.
He understands, like, dude,
of
course he does. His whole
Man, I'm
thing
gonna tell you something,
Trap, not poor black people.
Being from the Midwest, Trump represents everybody that lives in little towns like Ravenna, Stowe.
Yeah, the ignorance of them, though. The ignorance of them.
And I ain't gonna say all of them is ignorant. They just have a certain train of thought.
Yeah,
bro.
it's not a level of knowledge or lack of knowledge. Like it's not an ignorance. There's something simple about him that people feel like they can relate to. He's a simple person. He wears simple suits. He's a simple guy to them. Now, again, we're talking about the nuance behind him that nobody can obviously see. He has to know. But to the average white, blue-collar American, for some reason, they find him simple, like their own life, Trap. And that's where the connection is to me. He's simple to them. They look at him, he wear the same suit, the same tie every time.
Ain't even tailored right.
It's just and to Pete's point, there's a genius about it because he could, and he doesn't. He's never did that. That's what works for him with human people. Like that's what used to work for him for us. When we used to like
a workaholic.
We used to think he was cool. Now, poor and white people, poor and middle-class white men, they really feel like this is our guy because he's simple. Now, there is the reality that this man is wealthy and been having money. He didn't grow up quite like that. He didn't grow up in simple concepts, but he can project that and it comes across genuine. People feel, even when he talks, bro, y'all don't think Trump know better words than he, of course he do, but he speaks a certain way on purpose. Like his shit is crazy.
And his entrance into politics is similar to Elon Musk's entrance into like the Twitter purchase, in that both of them were like financial catastrophes on principle. Like both of those things cost both those guys billions of dollars for real.
You know, Trump once wanted to own the NFL team. He wound up actually owning the USFL team to pay people. He's the one that actually
want the whole league. He want the whole league, right?
He's the first one that gave a black player a more time.
Yeah, he's the first one. He's the one. He's the main change behind the way the NFL.
Herschel Walker, right?
Yeah. For the longest, NFL players was getting $100,000 to $150,000 a year, and I don't know how that would have changed.
The system
beats. Now I'm going to have to pay more in healthcare just to stay alive. You know what, Jay?
That's not necessarily true.
He's high in the house.
But hold up. That's true. Like not that true. That not what he's saying is true, but Republicans represent less government in your life. So that does mean less government caring for you to some degree, but it also means more opportunities for you to go out and make yourself. That's the trick with the Republicans versus the Democrats. You know what I mean? And it is different, but Pete will tell you this is right up his alley. Go ahead, Pete.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and from a market standpoint, like for sure, like unambiguously, Obamacare raised the price of everything in healthcare. It created such a government restricted apparatus that it blew the price of pharmaceuticals up. We've seen pharmaceutical prices go up in the last 15 years astronomically. It's jacked the price of insurance up for physicians. It's raised the cost so much And it's actually driven. They call it the brain drain. It's driven people out of the field. We are now at a shortage of physicians now as a result of that.
Nurse.
So it's from a supply and demand standpoint. The more government intervention that you have, the less supply you're going to get. So that does have upward pressure on price in pretty much everything.
Shout out to Jay Sizzle Beats. I care about my health. I don't know about you either, fool. It's not about caring. If you care about your health, you got to go out there and go get some money and get your health care together. You got to put that as a primary goal when Republicans go in office. It's not nobody going to fake care about your health. You know what I mean? It just works either way.
Us thinking that if whoever winds up in the White House, our lives are going to be impacted. I'm telling you, man, because I'm old now, man, getting older. And I've seen this game played in and out, man. That one time my life changed. The biggest change in my life has been me. The efforts generated through Norman Steele, not nobody else.
Now they about to cut Social Securities, though, right?
No,
yeah, but the thing
don't do that.
That's what they said.
Who's they?
But see, this is my thing, and this is why I titled this room. This is why I titled this room this, right? It's like when we was talking to Walt. Remember in the room, and people genuinely feel like, oh, we finna go back into we finna go back into slavery. And
the greatest slavery you ever seen.
Like that's not how it's going to work. You feel me? Like you can't just enslave people. Like that's the confusion. The confusion is that America enslaved people. No, America bought slaves from European traders who bought them from African warriors in villages. They didn't, America never enslaved anyone. They bought slaves from European traders who bought them from African warlords and communities. This is what happened. So it's like, we was making this joke like that shit was funny. It was like, it's the golden age of slavery. It's going to be the greatest slavery ever.
It's going to be the greatest slavery ever.
You've never saw anything like
no one's ever done slavery like this before.
Never saw anything like this.
It's a good kind.
Greatest
slavery ever.
America.
Get ready for it.
Yeah,
we're gonna have tariffs. We're gonna bring our own. We're not gonna import any slaves. We're gonna have all the.
No more imported slaves. No more. Only domestic slaves. We're gonna put tariffs on Arab traders. But it's funny. So it's like you can't slave. No, that's the trick. Bone slave. That's half truth. No, that's the whole truth. That's the whole truth. And no, Arabs did not start slavery.
Isn't it kind of crazy that guy's name is that just for that comment?
That's great. No, that's why I'm glad Bone Slave is here. Shout out to Bone Slave.
Bone Slave was crazy to make
that is fire.
He was waiting for this topic for like 6 episodes.
It's my moment. It's my moment right now. It's my moment.
I mean, no, he's not right. He's not right, Jay Sizzle. He's not. Like the way the transatlantic slave trade worked. This is a full truth. This is a full truth, right? African warlords started selling captive people, right? Captured people that they were warring with. European countries, right? Netherlands, Germany, a couple different European countries started what you would call the UPS of trading, right? They started to take things from one side of the Atlantic to the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, right? And then they would sell it for a gain, right? So they would transfer it from here and sell it for a gain. The one country that didn't have a slave trade is this broke, cheap motherfuckers. They didn't have shit. They couldn't go get slaves from nowhere. They didn't have a boat that's gonna go. Like I hear a lot of brothers be like, where are all the slaves? Why ain't there no slave ships? Nigga, because we didn't have slave ships over these. This version of white people didn't have slave ship. You would need to, I don't know if the Netherlands kept a slave ship. I don't quite know who over there, who kept a slave ship. But so they would buy slaves from the west coast of Africa, right? These other European countries, these slave trading companies, and then they would ship them over here and sell them on a route, right? Maybe they're stopping Jamaica or near the Caribbean islands. They stop in America. They would go to South America, right? That's how the slave trade worked. They would drop them off and sell them, and then we kept something that we bought and we own in perpetuity, right? People's children. This is what the white folks was doing here in perpetuity. They own the people. So no, they didn't start. That is the whole truth. There's no other truth. You know what I mean? And no, Arabs did not start slavery. That's just not true. Africans were doing slavery long time ago, before Arabs was Arabs. So look, these are rough facts. I don't want to talk about them because it's kind of obvious, but it's all good. But no, Trump is not going to institute the golden age of slavery. He can't do it. It's not, you can't just walk out the house and just enslave people. You can't just walk out the house and be like, hey, you my slave. Like, which one of y'all in this chat if Pete walk up and be like, you're mine now? That's not going to happen. This is not going to happen, Jay. Like, imagine Jay Sizzle, like a white man walking up like, get over here, colored boy, you're mine now.
No, you got to be a little slicker. You got to pull up kind of like you got an ice cream truck and say, hey, look at this. You open the side. Hey, we're giving away free ice cream samples. Then slam the door and take off.
Hop in here, big 6 foot brother. Hop in this truck. Come get this free ice cream. It's gonna be tough for them to institute slavery. Like, it's really brothers that feel this way, bro. And I'm like, you can't let fear, like, you can't let some of this stuff is outrageous.
It's real over the top. There's so much disinformation out there, bro. And you know what? Slaves used to go for like $90 to $100, dog. That's like probably like 30, 40 racks a day, right?
Yeah, it was expensive.
Boy, you'd have went for about, in my younger prime, I probably went for 500.
Squishy is crazy. Shout out to Squishy. Pete pulling up with the white windowless van passing out barbecue.
Hey, do you live in Miami?
Bro. Oh shit!
No, that's funny.
A white windowless van passed out. But I got barbecue for you, brother.
Got barbecue for you, brother.
I couldn't part with it. I'd be like, I gotta.
Listen to you ain't giving nobody no barbecue.
You.
Maybe we can share it. You ain't giving us no barbecue.
How tall are you, Trev? How far are you, Trev? How tall are you?
I'm in New York.
6'6".
I'll try.
So you're 6'6". So yeah,
These guys are taller than shit.
yeah. Trev would go for $1,000.
That not be no cheap. Listen here.
You would have got $1,900 with your shoulder.
Listen here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't selling no for cheap. It ain't for no barbecue either.
Back in my prime, they just sold me for probably about $1,500 in my prime.
1500.
Yeah, 15. I good $1,500 because I got big, broad shoulders and stuff.
Oh, you'd have got top-notch dollars for you.
They got the tallest woman over there and said, "This you go make some kids."
Let's get it. Trump in office, man. It's a lot of people out here that's sad right now, man. They thought that we was about to hit a last-second shot. They still count votes right now.
They're going to be counting votes in Arizona for 2 weeks. The guy running Maricopa County, Arizona, is a nightmare. It's unbelievable. It's not hard to count pieces of paper.
They had a hard time in 2020.
Fats, they'd have had you in the house. Fats, you would have been serving coffee and working the bar. Fats, you light skinned. Had you working the bar, Fats, you'd have been a bartender. Remember the move? Remember when them two Mandingo warriors fighting Django and that man was talking? That'd have been you with the little thing. Like, you'd have been cool. They'd have had you in there getting the shade and everything. They wouldn't have no skin.
That might have been Samuel L. Jackson's best role he ever played.
I hated him after that, man. I couldn't
He did after that.
He said, "Oh no, look at this nigga riding that horse." He said, "Look at this.
Who is this nigga on this nag?
Who is this nigga on this horse?" Oh no, that shit was crazy.
That's the funniest term. Nag is the funniest
no.
word in the English language to me. Oh my god.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fears, and I'm glad we're here to debunk the fears. Like, you don't have to be scared, bro. You might be on your own a little bit more. You can't lean on the government like you might have been doing, but you all right, brother. We have been going through this. Now, they ain't finna let you fetch. You light-skinned fats. Ain't nobody finna let you fight. They gonna have you serving coffee.
All white.
Yeah. You don't have nothing to be scared of. Like, Republicans and Democrats allow you to lean on them. The Republicans don't allow you to lean on them. Either way, you've been on your own this time, brother. So we don't gotta really be concerned about that.
And the reality,
there's nothing to be scared.
The reality of the modern state of the Republican Party is that it is very much a house divided, and they will find 6 saboteurs for anything of consequence, for sure. Like, for fucking sure. Like, the Democrat defection rate on votes is like 1 in 1,000, literally. If you were to count up the number of votes and the frequency, it's less than 1 in 1,000, 1 in 20,000. It happens 6% of the time with Republicans.
Shout out to Michael Love. What it do, fellas? Almost missed the lunch chat, but you here. You made it, Mike.
So did glasses.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Mike. Yeah. We in here though, Mike. Still right now. I hope y'all enjoying this No Sitters Live, the lunch hour. Make sure you click that thumbs up button. You feel me? Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time. We not on a plantation yet. They ain't rounded us up and took us back, so we still on this YouTube Live. Pete will be the only person here. If they come get us, Pete's still gonna be here, logging in, making sure he do the lunch hour.
I'm like
still gotta do it.
We'll call it Schindler's Podcast or something like that.
Still got to do it. Shout out to Daryl Jackson. James Wood, slavery, a dehumanizing process in Africa. Nah, prisoner of war service yet. No, Daryl, it's way worse than that. And it's don't get me wrong, it's not quite chattel slavery. No, it's not that, but it is really bad, Daryl. You can't make it cool or acceptable. It's all bad. And they were selling people, D. Like, got to keep it a bean. Now, again, they wasn't bad as Americans, but they was pretty crappy. Shout out to Eric Jackson. I work in a federal prison system as a counselor. Each individual housed there healthy is worth $40,000 to $45,000 a year. If you're medical, $60,000 to $65,000 a year. So tell me, damn.
Ask him about the project. What's it called? The 6th thing they got going in California.
This is a great point, Eric. Man, E, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here, brother. I got something to talk to you about.
Yeah.
So a good partner of mine, the homegirl Sukla, was talking about the Prop 6 in
Prop 6,
California, where it still allowed the prison system to make you work for low wages. And she had a struggle with it because if California had what was supposed to be a task force to actually repair the relationship, or reparations, as they say, but repair the relationships between Black people in California based off of the disenfranchising effects of slavery, then why would you still make slavery acceptable even in prison?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a great conversation. And I tried to explain to her, Pete, that white people in California may be the worst type of white people. Now,
white people by far.
I've 1,000%
in the Midwest.
Wow, for real?
I'm gonna tell you
1,000%.
Yeah, why?
I'm gonna tell you why.
More than Southern white people?
Yes,
1,000%.
White people in South and white people in the Midwest let you know they don't like Negroes. You know it. You know it before you get to their house. If you walk in front of their house, I know Revenge.
You might see Confederate flags and all that shit like that.
Yeah, ain't no pretense to it, dog. They don't like it.
No confusion. They don't like Negroes. They don't like Negroes. You know it. The problem with white people in California is they act like they like Negroes.
I want to add a little to that.
Go ahead.
Based off, I've been around the country a fair amount. Been around California quite a bit. I will say this. White people in the South, they don't like you. The ones that don't like you, I'm going to say all of them, but the ones that don't like you and respect you more. They're concerned about. They presume competence to a greater degree. White people in California, particularly the wealthy ones, it's so condescending. I don't want to like be disrespectful expanding upon it, but I've been in those rooms in the Bay Area, in LA, and like it is impossibly disrespectful and condescending how lowly they actually think of the community, whatever you want to call it. It's disgusting.
That's crazy.
And so I call white people in California Lululemon white people.
Yeah.
Where everything is all about looking good but not being good. Like white people in California look great. They will start a task force for reparations, even though that's not gonna work out. They look the part. But man, behind them closed doors, you hear them conversations, and it's worse to deal with somebody like what them old people used to say: the devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
Yeah,
is that how they used to say it?
And I think California is the other big economy in California besides tech is nonprofits. So they're quick to start a nonprofit, raise a bunch of fucking money, write themselves a big old ass salary, and give themselves a big old ass, company car and all that shit because they're advocating for you.
Yeah, that's a business.
Fuck
a business is acting like one of the biggest businesses in California is acting like you care.
Yeah.
They call it, like you said, a 501(c)(3). That's acting like you care. You know what I'm saying? And white people in California are notoriously great at acting like they care. You will find some that do, but a lot of them will act.
And they have all the money and funding. They have all the grants, all the money, all the funding, and the people that are really legitimate, that really do care, can't get it done.
And if you think about it, bro, this is one of those towns where it's like that. Like we're right next to Nevada, but California try to start a process to where you can't drive gas cars. They you need to drive electric cars. But Nevada, which we share the same atmosphere and ozone with, that's not happening. America is always kind of on this fancy, better, like white Americans. I remember one time being so mad at what's the brother from Alabama, the white boy? He raps. He was signed to Eminem.
Yellow Wolf.
Yellow Wolf.
He said some shit, and I remember being so mad when he was talking shit about California, but I didn't realize he was talking about white people in California. Because when you say California, we automatically think we the star of the show. We be forgetting California is a white town. You don't think of it like that. But so I'm thinking, but he's talking about like the mentality of people in California and how people see white people in California. They see them as yuppies. Like they think they better than everybody. I didn't get that because we don't feel like that with black people in LA and black people in New York. We all know we the same.
Glasses. Do you know how many white friends I made in California after college when I moved back to California as an adult?
Say that one more time.
Do you know how many white friends I made in California when I moved back into the state after college as an adult?
No.
0.
I know he was going to say that.
You met one white new friend?
Not a single one. I only made like 2 friends in general in that time, but none of them were white out of the 2.
I think when you get a certain age,
they're just
when you get a certain age, you start making so many friends though too though, and if it's not part of your community, your circle, you know what I'm saying?
I can't put up with the self-righteous soy milk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Can't.
See, that's exactly
soy milk. I'm gonna start using that soy milk.
Self-righteous soy milk.
Self-righteous soy milk.
And then
they did an episode on South Park about it, like the smug attitude of white people in California. Mm-hmm. Like they just feel they think they shit don't stink. It was a whole episode where they were farting and they would bend over to white people and smell it because they acted like they shit didn't stink. It was Trey and Matt is brilliant, dog. Mm-hmm. South Park is brilliant, but I finally caught on to. So I'm telling Sukla, I'm like, this is typical white people behavior in California. Look like we care, but really we don't.
Yeah.
Self-righteous soy milk. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the name. If we separated this, we should put this up.
That's gonna be when I spin off my own podcast. It's gonna be the Self-Righteous Soy Milk Podcast.
There you go. That's it right there.
I just accidentally stepped on that rake.
I know. That would be good. That would be good to listen to you talk to other white people.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see you talk to other black people. I want to talk to white people. Just white people from California, just asking them questions and stuff.
I had gotten into some of the ugliest arguments with some like really think super highly of themselves white women back in the day, like when I was driving Uber sometimes, and they would say some shit to me. I just couldn't take it anymore. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Self-righteous soy milk is crazy. So what is that? So listen, shout out to the chat. Everybody in the chat going up. Again, No Ceilings Live, the lunch hour. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time. Click that thumbs up button. Make sure you slide in that description. Subscribe to the No Ceilings podcast. We just dropped a great episode yesterday. That was incredible. Go listen to it. Subscribe to the podcast. Executive produced by Charlemagne the God, who I got to check on because he might have committed suicide. Black Effects Network and iHeart, the corporation.
He'll be all right. He's not going to be Charlemagne the Saint. He's still good.
Him and Van Lathan, they might have killed themselves, bro.
They might be packing up and they might be shooting out, man. You know what I'm saying? They might be taking it out of town, man. Go out of the country.
They gonna be all right.
So what are we really scared? Shout out to the chat. I didn't know. What are we really scared of? Now, okay, so all the worst things that I've been made to be scared of as a black man, even though I never have, is the Republicans have the seat, the presidential seat, they have the Senate, and they have the House now, right?
Correct.
What is going to happen? What do we really believe is going to happen? You know what?
What do you mean? What do people fear is going to happen, or what's actually going to happen?
No, I don't really do politics. So I'm going to go down the list of Project 2025. That's what I would like to talk about.
Let's go.
How much of this stuff is really going to happen? What are we really going to go through?
And that's a think tank wish list. That's not. That's not a campaign document.
They talked about stuff like making pornography illegal. That was I didn't really see anything really that.
Somebody to go down the list so I can understand what am I supposed to quite be worried about exactly, so I can know what to be worried about. Where's the list?
Looked at that this morning.
Wish list for Trump. BBC News, which is an English publication in England. Here's the wish list. Where's the wish list look like? Abortions. Okay, so let's talk since we all here. Are we really that upset that they are planning to outlaw abortion federally?
They're not planning to do that.
I mean, if this is what it says.
If they put that on Trump's table, he wouldn't sign it.
But my question is, am I really supposed to be that upset about that?
As a man, to me, I was thinking about this yesterday. As a man, if you don't operate with the assumption that if you get a woman pregnant, she's going to have the kid whether you like it or not, then you're being irresponsible yourself. That should already be your default setting, because if you can't control her from having it against your will now, you should operate as if it was already illegal. Just being responsible.
Where you at with it still? Does it really matter to you? Like, don't get me wrong. I do think there's that small percentage of people who have been, violated sexually. There is that group of people that get impregnated entirely too young, or it could risk their health. That is a group of people.
Bro, I'm going to tell you like this. I come from the school of thought that Peter has. If that comes across his desk, he's not going to sign it. For one, I think it's a lot of disinformation out there. I don't think he's ever said that he's planned on getting rid of anything. Do you, Peter? You recall hearing anything from his mouth?
No, he just wanted to afford states that wanted different laws the opportunity to do it on their own, and if other ones didn't want to do it, then they didn't have to do it. He was just rolling it out of federal jurisdiction into state jurisdiction.
So I'm gonna tell you, bro. This is how I feel about it. Let me go back a little bit. I'm sorry, I think like this, bro. I think if somebody gets raped or instances, dog, to where it's opposed to health risk, of course. But I think the days of people using this birth control.
Not our opinions on abortion. Do we think that that's something? There's going to be a federal mandate that abortions are illegal. Where are we at as a panel? Do we think it's going to happen? Yes. I mean, do we think that's something I'm going to do?
It's going to take 5 Republican House people to kill a bill at most out of 225. I assure you, there's no way on earth it would make it out of the House. They're not 100% on hardcore radicals in the House.
We all agree no, that's not going to happen. He's not going to put a federal mandate that. So no, all 4 no, 4 no.
I don't know. They saying he's about to be a dictator. I don't know. But
yeah, that's another one. Is Trump really going to stay in office past 4 years? No,
there's no way possible. He would get kicked out, though.
Do you think he's going to try? No.
I think he's going to try.
No.
I don't think
They
so.
say his idols is Who in King John?
All that is just cap.
Who's they? People who benefit by saying
I
that?
keep telling you who the they is. It's the ones up there. Be like what you mean?
Okay,
We know somewhere, man. So it's some little secret society up there.
So it's 3-1.
Trump secrets.
So Trap thinks he's gonna try to stay past 4 years, and 3 of us think he's not. So that's so make sure we mark this down. Increased funding for a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border.
That will happen.
That's gonna happen.
He's not doing that. He's not doing that. He didn't do it the last time. He ain't doing it this time.
Yeah,
he did it. It got hung up in court, and then it finally got cleared in court at the very end.
He's going to increase the funding for the budget. Yes, that's gonna happen. Which I don't know what the hell the wall is, but whatever. Yes.
Have you seen that thing? Have you been by it?
No.
Holy shit! I was in El Paso twice. That ain't no average wall.
Hey, is it like the Game of Thrones wall, the separated wall, the giants
like
that from the regular
I've never
people?
seen Game of Thrones. What it looks like is they took steel, like big steel beams, and weighted them down in concrete and have them up like 30 feet high with narrow gaps like this. Like I've seen people cut through it, but you had Border Patrol there letting them cut through it. And it takes a very, 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 very long time to do it. So if you didn't order Border Patrol to stand down, you're not getting through that fucking wall. And you can't really scale it because it's like pipes.
Sound like Game of Thrones wall.
I've never seen Game of Thrones.
So Trap think it's not gonna happen. We all agree that he's gonna put the money up. So that's 3-1.
He ain't spending no money on that.
Okay, the document proposes slashing federal money for research and investment in renewable energy and calls for the next president to stop the war on oil and natural gas. Carbon reduction goals will be replaced by efforts to increase energy production and energy security.
There's a lot of nuance to that. Some of that will happen, some of it will not.
Yeah, some of it will happen.
I don't know.
The thing is, Trump is not a big believer in global warming, though.
Correct. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people, but I think it's too many Republicans that do believe it. So I'm with Pete. I think it's like 50-50 in the middle. Some of it's going to happen, some of it's not. Okay, under the proposals, pornography will be banned. That's not going to happen. That's just a lie.
Better not happen. Better not happen.
He's not.
He's not going to get sued by that porn star again.
Look,
better not happen.
If it happened, I don't care, but it's not going to happen. The Republican people ain't giving up no damn porn. All that shit is for the birds.
That's kind of like a pie in the sky idea.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is from what
some countries done did that though. Like there's some countries that got that shit. Like Dubai got that shit.
But they also have some other weird rules out there. I've been to Dubai. Please believe that
this country ain't gonna be Dubai. So we gonna.
But please believe that Dubai probably got the most degrading pornography ever in the history of porn.
That's probably the kind of porn you want to make.
I need to see that.
Black market's always the best.
Okay, so we're not gonna ban
people.
Documents call for school choice and parental control over schools and takes aim at what is called woke propaganda. It proposes to eliminate a long list of terms from all laws and federal regulations, including sexual orientation, gender equality, abortion, and reproductive rights.
Some of that.
Which part of it you think? I don't really see that.
I think the gender identity stuff probably, bro.
I don't think that's going to happen, bro, on a federal level.
There's the potential for some serious, like, foundational changes happening at the Department of Education.
Shout out to the homie Lifted. Porn already banned in Virginia. They got to use a VPN.
Wow.
I think Texas too. Or no, Texas only banned Pornhub.
And y'all looking at this wrong. This is a time you got to look at this as business. You could run a dope spot that sell physical DVDs and DVD porns. Stop looking at these things.
Wow.
This is the end of the world.
Up on that.
This is an opportunity for black dollars, bro. For black dollars.
This is Glasses Malone at his best.
At his best dollars, bro.
This should be the show. This should be the show
so we can start
every day.
Warehouse.
Bro, if they shut down port on the Bible Belt, bro, we could go set up shop.
We get busy. Homegrown.
We could sell it.
Like
we could sell flash drives for $500.
Bro,
Well, I'm gonna tell you, them Republicans probably in some real serious porn. Pete, what was the name of the couple in Miami? The ones who always spoke against homosexuality and all that, and turned out that they were some swingers and all that stuff.
I don't know.
The girl was in a lesbian relationship.
It's money in Kansas. We looking at the opportunity wrong, bro. Black coin, bro. It's black dollars out here, bro. Like we could go get coin right now. Like y'all be looking at this whole
speaking of coin, we're gonna sell flash drives for Bitcoin. That's gonna be
right there. Oh my God.
Bitch.
Now we see that you got to bring the
now we date. See what I'm saying?
Now we up.
That's when you become date.
Look,
you know
Trump being in office, y'all got to look at y'all looking at this Republican thing. And I told somebody this. Shout out to ADHD Clubhouse. Again, no sentence live at lunch hour. Traffic ADHD room. I was telling them that we're looking at opportunities wrong. Like this whole believe that you have to do what the law say do. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true morality. Like, bro, you gotta find your space. You gotta find your space. Like, there's opportunities. There's opportunities with this. When the Republicans come in office and start acting self-upright, like I want them to outlaw. If they outlaw weed in your town, that's an opportunity for you.
And if you do it well enough, there's enough precedent that it'll eventually become legal.
Yes.
Look at Uber.
That's what happened with liquor.
Uber deployed thousands of unlicensed commercial drivers, such to the point that they just said, fuck it then. And now they got $50 billion.
Exactly. Y'all looking at this wrong. Yeah, but as far as that part, I can't see that. I can't see them fucking with none of that sexual orientation, gender equality stuff, only because they kids is like that. If they kids wasn't like that, I believe it's gonna happen. But I don't think they're gonna press the agenda more, but I don't think they're gonna pull it back at all. I think they just gonna leave it alone. That's the thing they could do. They're not finna repeal none of the stuff going on. You feel me? They're not gonna repeal none of the stuff because it be they kids like that.
I think a lot of what it's gonna be is gonna be like clarifying and or redefining, depending on how you want to look at it. Like enforcement policy. Like that was the big kind of misnomer about a lot of the campaign with regard to immigration was, well, we need to pass comprehensive immigration reform, blah, blah, blah. The immigration law never changed. The executive policy on how it's enforced changed. Yeah, so you'll see a lot of that. That's really what this is going to be about, more or less. We won't know if this whole situation is serious until the next budget is passed. So everybody is relaxed until if the next budget comes out and it's a giant gargantuan budget, you'll know this is just going to be minor tinkering. If it comes out and it's a seriously different budgetary concept than what we usually have, you'll know this is legit.
So what should black people really be scared of, Pete? Like you gonna say nothing. But what's something that you really think that can happen that's going to affect black people?
I think that there's going to be
on a federal level.
On a federal level?
Yeah, on a huge level.
There might be some small impact on what do you call them? Some social program impact. Small. I think really most, as far as anything, really, it would just come down to there might be some scaling back on a little bit of the DEI economy.
What's DEI economy?
There's a lot like the DEI ESG pairing has led to companies hiring a lot of people for like, what do you call it? Like diversity related oversight positions. And they hire black people for those, and they don't really serve the business anything other than for PR purposes or shielding against legalities. So there might be some scaling back on that, but otherwise probably not a ton.
Police immunity would disproportionately affect minorities. Shout out to the homie Lifted. Police immunity would disproportionately affect minorities.
I don't know how you do that at the federal level.
That's my problem, Lifted, and that's what I keep saying. Like, how do you do that at the federal? There's no way.
So FBI agents don't have immunity anymore. That'd be pretty much it.
Yeah, like what does that really mean?
ATF
Like,
and drug enforcement.
sheriff, what would the federal level do to the sheriff? Like if the state of California goes to prosecute a police officer for like mistreatment, what the hell is the federal level gonna do?
All that would mean is if you lose in state court, you can't turn around and file the suit in federal court.
None of those police shootings was ever taken up in federal court, right? It was always state charges, right?
The Ferguson one went to federal.
Ferguson one went to federal, yeah.
So all that means, Lifted, is federally the government will not prosecute, even if they were able to get police were able to get federal immunity. All that means is the feds will not prosecute a state police officer or a local police officer for a crime. But that don't change that the state still will, or the city, or any other smaller organization will. It just means the federal government would not. Shout out to my brother Daryl Jackson, who always popping the dope in the chat. Black people had a problem to solve all our own problems. This dependence mentality got to stop.
I want to be friends with that guy.
I agree.
To some degree, I agree a little bit. I think you have to repair. I think reparations are not important just as money, but it's too many people that come to this country that think they have a bad sight on Black people based off of ignorance, and really this country not apologizing and admitting that it ruined people.
I don't necessarily know that those are mutual or aren't mutually exclusive, whichever one I'm trying to say, right?
Sure.
I think that can be true, and also additionally, Black people's capability need not be understated.
No. I definitely think people can do better, but I do think it's a way you have to make the work. Because one thing is how you treat each other. So the culture can be improved, but the experience is still, that's why the repair portion is important. The experience that we suffer, the experience of meeting other people and how they treat you. You know what I mean? There's no accountability on the country itself for that mistreatment. And that has to happen. You know what I mean? It's tough for, like, if you mistreated your kid, your daughter, her whole life, and she goes to school and she's like a little whore and she's sleeping with everybody, but the whole time you was molesting her and messing her up, and you like, you a little whore, you're not admitting to it. And then people judging your daughter for being a whore, they don't know that messed up because you messed her up. That's what America did to Black people. They messed people up. So you got to tell everybody, I messed them up. This is why they acting this way.
100%.
So people don't think that your daughter is just whore and raggedy.
That's real.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think both principles are simultaneously true.
Obviously, it's certain things Black people can do for themselves, right? But again, even when it says themselves, that still requires wealthier Black people to do better by the smaller group of Black people, the poor, the impoverished Black folks. Because
let me ask you this: do you think that people that are, like, let's say in that upper 10% of Black people with the economy to actually help people, you think they should be
job? They do a horrible job.
Yeah, they do. I agree with you with that.
Wealthy Black people do the worst job of caring for poor Black people, worse than any other group of people in America. Like
give rich white people are just due. We're pretty shitty at it.
No, rich white people do stuff like I was telling Steele, right? Why can't we upload our music directly to Apple and get the money straight from Apple? You know why? Because they created this middle class of jobs. This that some people can become wealthy where I have to go through another man to distribute my music to Apple Music.
What do you mean? I don't know how that works.
I just upload my song to Apple Music.
Even the podcast too, right?
Even the podcast. I can't upload my podcast or our podcast to Apple Music.
You got to go through a third party.
You have to go through a third party. That's them creating jobs.
Okay.
Even in the court of law, like, you have to learn a language. Remember, we talked about this. Law is nothing but language and history. But they put the language as a barrier so you can't really represent yourself. That creates jobs. That creates opportunity for other people, because all a lawyer or public defender does is speak the language. The reason they're not good is they don't have they didn't have the correct education, the greatest education at language, nor the greatest education at history. I mean, that's all being a lawyer is, language and history. How to speak in court, right? The correct terms to use and what has happened before. And then the intellect to figure out how to use all this information. So that's creating a job. We don't do a good job at creating jobs for poor Black people. The wealthy people, we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do a great job of that. That shit got to change. So that's the concept of do better. It's not every last Black person is tasked with the that's tasked with to do better, because some people messed up and they don't know how to do better. They've been kicked and beat their whole life and they can't figure it out. Like their experience was horrible and you feel me? And they messed up, but they need some brother to make it simpler. Like some brother who got more of it to make it simpler for them, to make the journey and the conquest simpler. Then you might have to meet them at 8. They might be at 10, but you got to meet them at 8. You can't meet them at 5. You got to go there. The opportunity got to go there because they messed up and fractured. So I don't think we do well by ourselves as a thing, but that's also because being Black is also the cheapest thing you could do too. Like it don't take much to be Black. Like we look at Blackness and define it being good is if you go individually succeed versus other people. They like, yeah, you got to actually help humanity. White people are judged by how they help humanity. If a white person's an asshole and they just got rich, nobody want to be him. Nobody care about him. They are judged by how they help humanity, and that's why they pride themselves in that, right? That's the whole thing of what you call that shit. The rich. I just used the word the other day.
Philanthropists.
Philanthropists.
You know what I'm saying? That's a professional helper, a rich professional helper of humanity. They don't even want to call themselves humanitarians no more. They like, no, I'm a philanthropist because that means I have money and I'm doing this. So again, white people understand you are judged by what you do well by humanity. And they figure out stuff. We have to do a better job of caring for ourselves.
So you feel as if people that go back and give back to their communities and stuff like that is and not wanting to be known for doing it though, you think you should let it be known that you're doing what you're doing though? Because a lot of people do give back to and do stuff for the community and don't want to be screaming out that they did it and all that shit though. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to
I don't think that's what he's necessarily saying.
No, but when it comes to somebody saying they're a philanthropist, they want it to be known that they did what they did though. You know
the ones you know about.
Yeah, the ones you know about. It's a little bit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about people.
I understand what you're saying.
I'm saying people creating opportunity.
I know what you mean. He's talking about creating. You create more of a mandate if you do it publicly by virtue of saying this is the standard. I'm doing it. You need to do it. If you do it anonymously, it gives everybody else an excuse for inaction. Shout out to Davion. What up, D? $2. Okay, we can get some. Get a Snapple. Oh no, Snapple was $2.40. Thank you for the $2.
You get some Kool-Aid.
We gotta move to it. No, this is on us though. $1.99. That's how much it costs in a state with no sales tax. It's on us to go to that state. It's not on us to say he needs to pay our sales tax. We need to go to the state where there isn't sales tax. Yes, Pete is going to have to get stuff. Yeah. A bag of chips. Yeah. No, you can't. Chips are more than that. Chips are $2.65.
The little bag that got all the air up in it.
They don't even have that no more. They got rid of that.
Damn.
They don't have that no more. You got to go.
Out, bro. Good looking. Appreciate you.
Yeah, good looking out, B. Appreciate you, brother. Wow. Yeah. So yes, like Black people, like when people doing by themselves, it don't mean by yourself. It means people that are of you. So we just got to do a much better job by us. But again, the verb of being a human being is being humane, right? And that's caring about other people, not your children, not your wife. Those are extensions of yourself, but caring about other people.
And you feel like we obligated to do that though?
Yes. I think you're not being Black without it. I don't think being Black is just how white people treat you. I think it's about how you treat other Black people. I think that's what being Black is. I don't think being Black is just being Black. I think being Black is a verb.
I feel like
you got to start with us.
I feel like showing somebody how you did what you did is more than just giving. It's more important than just giving back the money from what you done gained. You know what I'm saying? From what you did like that. But to show somebody,
but not showing them, not by telling them, but grabbing them and showing them.
Mm-hmm.
Not rapping about it on a song, not driving by the Bentley like this. I did it. I just stayed hard work and dedicated and got busy. No.
Well, there's no
you
information.
really got to make it a task. Like we just said, I should be able to upload this podcast directly to Apple, this stream. I can't because they created jobs for people. We got to do a much better job as Black America by creating jobs for other Black Americans. That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's fair.
So again, this is No Sinners Allowed in Lunch Hour. Click that thumbs up button every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here, noon Pacific Standard Time. Click that thumbs up button real quick. Shout out to D again for that $2. D, we love you for that, cuzzo.
Appreciate you.
Go to the link in the description. Subscribe to the No Ceilings podcast. Feel me? It's a great episode that just was put out yesterday. Executive produced by Charlemagne the God, the iHeart, and Black Effect Network. That's the player stuff. So we finna get a body. We ain't got to do too much talking. Anybody got any questions in the comments? With any final thoughts? The streets is back. We got a criminal.
Got my red hat on. I got my red hat on.
Queens criminal. We got a Queens criminal in the White House.
Queens.
The streets is back. Snitching is out. All that Buster stuff is out.
All y'all about to get it. All y'all snitch motherfuckers about to get it.
Trump is back.
How the fuck did Fannie get
no rats?
How did Fannie get her job back?
Who?
Them niggas in Atlanta.
Oh, the lady in Georgia. The lady in Georgia.
Them niggas in Atlanta is bugging.
Well,
Trump getting her ass out of there. Trump getting her ass out of there.
She saved a lot of face. She saved a lot of face. She saved a lot of face because they took a deal. If she would have lost, she'd have lost her job. Here's a question. Here's a question before we jump out. Here's a question. What happens with Puff now that Trump is in office?
He about to Diddy bop out of that motherfucker like this. My son Diddy bopping off the federal steps like this. He going Diddy bop out.
No, he's gonna slide down.
Oh, and I want you to go back. What you say about Kamala? What did she do?
I didn't say nothing about Kamala.
Let me say Fannie. We talking about Fannie. Kamala supposed to be speaking at 4:00. We gotta go check that out though.
That guy.
Yeah, that's why everybody closed the room probably.
What happened for?
Kamala supposed to be speaking, doing her conceding.
Kamala.
The word salad concession where she concedes without conceding.
Squishy. She said, "Gee, did you forget I write grants for small Black businesses? I did forget. I need you." So that's the thing. Black people help Black people see that fast. Boom.
That's fire.
That right part right there, Squish. And see, look, Squish just hit me. He was like, "Last, I'm gonna buy a T-shirt." I'm like, "Yeah, Squish, send me your order number. I'm gonna put a whole package together. Thank you for supporting us." Like I was gonna give her everything, the vinyls, all this. She's gonna get one T-shirt. She's gonna get 10 CDs, vinyls, hats,
Walkman,
just for that. But then guess what? That's God doing that solid for me because I was finna just do it just because she sits here with us and enjoys the time on the lunch hour. And
we need to make Squishy a moderator because she here all the time. We need to make her a moderator in the chat room to regulate the chat.
You know what? I don't like putting people in slave work. I just voted no to platform.
We need to ask her, dog.
You making somebody be a moderator and shit. You
gotta get it work for free. That's like California shit right there.
That's what being a member of the team.
Damn, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, I know you signed that.
Black Gavin.
She might want to do it. That's why you ask her.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we out of here. Much love to y'all, man.
Yo, easy. Queens, we won again, baby. Queens.